cleaning a pheasant. So I'm just going to make a little incision here so I can easily split the skin. These birds are fully feathered, so it's a little harder to split it, but now I have it open, and I like to peel it back, expose it, and you can just see the bone here. You want to run your knife right along this bone, and then there's a little part of the wishbone here, and I just put my knife in about right there, just keep it going, run it right down the side, then I flip the bird, and I just run it right here, run down right through this, and that's one side of the pheasant. And again, get right along that bone, run my knife toward the tail, I turn the bird, come down here along the wishbone. I'll make a quick cut here, quick cut, and it's free, so there's a breast.
And you don't waste any meat.
You can see right through the bone.
Yep.
And then I like to take the thighs on pheasants. I enjoy them a lot if they're not shot up. I tend to hit them in the legs. But I think this one's going to be okay. So I just run right along the back of the bone here on the leg. And there I have my thigh piece. That one looks like it'll be decent. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to peel off the feathers here, expose the back of that leg. So I have that whole back of the leg exposed. That one's nice and not shot up. Take my knife, go against the bone, run it through, take a pinch, and there I have my thigh piece. And like I said, I really enjoy these. One of my favorite parts of the pheasant. And some people like to take the livers and the hearts. I'm not going to do that today, but I often do enjoy the livers and hearts. Here we have some pheasant. They were shot yesterday. I always like to put my pheasant in salt water overnight and leave them in the refrigerator. It helps to leach out any of the blood that might still be in the meat. And as you can tell, after having sat for a while, it gets a nice white color. You'll notice that this one doesn't have any pellet strikes or any tooth marks or any feather draw, so it's pretty much ready to go directly into the freezer. And since we're not planning on eating these birds right away, I'm going to wrap them up and show you what I do so that I have long-term storage. Nobody likes to eat pheasants that are freezer burned, and unfortunately I think a lot of birds end up tasting rather disgusting because they're not properly put away. So we're going to get these birds out, get them drawn, get them warmed up for storage. Another thing I like to do is to always make sure that I have a nice sharp knife, especially a fillet knife works really well. And since I have this light here, I'm going to put it on a higher setting. This bird has a few pellet strikes, so I'm going to hold it up to the light and see if I can see any of the BBs. And if I do, then I will pick those BBs out with the tip of that knife. And it leaves very little meat loss, but it also saves you from potentially making a trip to the dentist. But that bird looks like those pellets passed through, which is good. We were shooting some bismuth loads that we've been pretty pleased with from Boss. These are the number 5 20 gauge loads that were used on a number of these birds. I was shooting the number 7 Boss and the 12 gauge, and I've been very pleased with the results. They hit hard and they keep the birds down once they're hit so that there isn't a lot of running. As a lot of you know, pheasants are difficult to recover even with a good dog if they are not anchored well, but those new Boss shot shells have been doing a very nice job. Alright, so I like to put them in a bag first, one bird at a time, and then I make sure that I get all the air out to the best of my ability. And then what I do for long-term storage is I just take a sheet of tin foil. It protects really well, and for me it's much quicker than having to use one of the machines that automatically seals it for me. So I just pinch it down, make sure the air is out, I crimp the corners, and now I have a bird that potentially can be in the freezer for 9 to 12 months and not have any freezer burn, and I can use it for anything that I want, whether it's on the grill, in the crock pot, or for a stir fry.